I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you want.
Let's start now. Okay, so this is color coding for our resistors. Now, we've got our resistors come with different bands. You've got resistors with 4 bands, you've got resistors with 5 bands. Are we together? Now, those with 4 bands, they only have got 4, others with 5 bands have got 5 bands. Now, these are bands of colors that are different from each other. Now, all these bands, like for the one with 4 bands, like the first band is got a different color, which also means something different. Are we together? The second band is a different color, which also has got a different meaning. The third band has got a different meaning. Fourth band has got a different meaning. Are we together? So, in case of 4 band resistors, the first band that we have, it represents a value. Are we together? Right? What about the second band? What does it represent? Value. That is correct. And the third band, this is only for one with 4 bands, right? Now, the third band, what does it represent? Multiplier. That is correct. The third band is a multiplier. Look, this is wrong. Multiplier. That's correct. And the fourth band, which is the last one, what does it represent? Tolerance. That is correct. This one represents the tolerance. So let's explain this. Now, if you've got 5 bands, you've got the first band would be a value, the second band would be a value, the third band would be a value, the fourth band would be multiplier, and then the fifth band will be tolerance. That is correct. Tolerance. Okay, so now let's explain what all these are, right? Like, let's say for an example, when you say the first band is a value, that means the first value, the first band represents a number. Are we together, right? And the second band, we're saying it's a value, that means the second band represents a number. Are we together? Then we've got the third band. The third band represents a multiplier. Because if you're only working with 4 bands, that means we can only use 2 numbers. Are we together, right? Which should give us 20 and 0 to 10, right? 0 all the way up to 20. That's all the way up to 99. That's what you get with this one, with these values. But then the multiplier then multiplies all our values into whichever number that we want. Are we together? So for an example, if you've got 56, then with the multiplier, then you can then multiply by 10 to get 560. You can then multiply by 100 to get 5,600. Are we together? So the multiplier is what multiplies these numbers to get to whatever value that we want. You can also use the multiplier to go lower. Are we together? Like, let's say for example, you take 56, you multiply it by 10 to the power negative 2. What do you get? Your batteries will finish, trust me. The day you need them, the batteries will be finished. 0.56. Are we together? Yes, without even using a calculator. Oh, I'm awesome. I should be worshipped. That's how awesome I am. Okay. Now, lastly, we've got the fourth band, right? The fourth band is our tolerance. Now, for tolerance, it means, what does tolerance mean in real life actually? What does it mean? If you are someone who's tolerant, what does it mean? You can take a lot of crap, right? You can handle it. You can take a lot of crap. You can handle your crap, right? So that's what tolerance is. Now, for tolerance, it's normally given as a percentage. Are we together? This means how much percent deviation from the total or from the original value can you get before your resistor becomes useless? Are we together? Or before your resistor becomes unreliable? I think that's the correct word. Like, how many lies can you actually tell before you become a liar? That's a very good question, right? How many times can you cheat before you become a cheater?
1,000 times.
1,000 times. And how many people do you need to kill before you become a murderer? Alright, so let's move on, right? So tolerance, that's what it says. It says, so for an example, you've got your resistor that is valued at 100 ohms. That is the value of our resistor. Are we together? So if the tolerance of this resistor is 5%, this means that the the total value of this resistor at any given point should only deviate by 5%. It should not deviate from the original value or from the stipulated value by more than 5%. So what is 5% of 100 ohms? Cut you off guard. Wait, Kristen. Right. What is 5% of 100 ohms without using a calculator?
I'm not there.
You need
It's 5%.
Obviously. 5% means 5 over 100, right?
Oh, yeah.
So we were saying if it's 100 ohms and if the tolerance of 100 ohm resistor is 5%, and then we say that 5% of 100 is 5 ohms, right? That means that the value of this resistor at any given point should be within 95 ohms to 105 ohms. Are we together? That is the range at which the value of this resistor should play at. Are we together? Right? If the tolerance is 20%, that means it should also dance around 80 to 120 ohms. Are we together? So that's what tolerance represents. That's what tolerance means. Okay, so now let's look at what we have here, right? Now, this thing is actually a lot, but I want you guys to have this inside your heads. Are we together? Now, here we've got a list of colors, and then here, if your colors fall in the first band, what do they mean? If they fall in the second band, what do they mean? If they fall in the third band, what do they mean? If they fall in the fourth band, what do they mean? Now, if you're dealing with a 5-band resistor, that means your first, second, and third will be numbers only, right? Or values only. And then the fourth one, that's where you have your times 10 to the power, what. Then the fifth one, that's where you'll have this. Are we together, right? Okay, so let's move on. Now, the first color is black, right? So let's move on, right? So, the first color is black. Now, the value for black is 0. Are we together? That means if your colors, if your item, my English is running away. If your resistor, right, is 20 ohms, that means the first color will be red, which is 2. Then the second one will be black. Are we together? So the first color is black, which represents 0, 0. And then on the multiplier side, which is our third band, right? Any number to the power 0 is going to be 1. That is correct. So times 10 to the power 0 is a 1. Are we together? And times 10 to the power 1, it's not 1, eh? Yes? No, you're correct, it's 10. Times 10 to the power 1 is 10. Any number to the power 1 is that same number, right? So that's 10. So the first number is, the first color is black, and then its multiplier is 0. And then as for tolerance, it doesn't have any tolerance. Are we together, right? Then you've got brown. Brown is 1, 1, and then its multiplier is 10. Are we together, right? And then its tolerance is 1%. That means for 100 ohm resistor, the tolerance, if it's 1%, that means it can only dance around 99 and 101 ohms. Are we together, right? Now let's move on. So these are our colors, but I want us to remember them, right? So what does the acronym say here? Well, the first color, well, what's the first letter?
What?
You've already forgotten. So the first one is Billy, right? This is for you to remember it. It's a sentence, right? Billy. The second one is Brown. So in order for you not to forget them, it's Billy Brown, and then there's the other word, right? We're going to put a star. Billy Brown, other word there, right? Billy Brown, other word. Only young girls. That's harsh, man. There is also, but, oh my goodness. What does the V stand for?
Virgin.
I feel wrong writing this. Virgin, what does the G stand for?
Girls.
And then the white will, right? And there is the not down here, right? So it says Billy Brown / only young girls, but virgin girls will not. That's what we use in the final exam to remember this. And actually it was my female teacher who taught me this. From St. Stephen College 2014. Anyways, she's the one who taught us this. So since then I've never forgotten. So this is the acronym where you can use to remember which color goes where. Which color starts first, which color goes second, which color is third, which color is fourth. So Billy, that's black. Brown is brown. That other word is red. Only, that's orange. Young is yellow. Girls is green. But is blue. Another V is violet. Then girls, the second girls is gray. Then will is white. Not is not. That's ignoring the two tolerances that we have here. Are we together, right? So we've got gold, and of which gold has got a tolerance of 5%. We've got silver. Silver has got a tolerance of 10%. Then we've got this nothing, right? Not, if no color is given. Then the tolerance is 20%. Are we together, right? Gold and silver can also be used as multipliers. So gold as a multiplier is times 10 to the power negative 1. Silver as a multiplier is times 10 to the power negative 2. Are we together? All right, let's look at examples that we have here. Okay, so they're saying you've got the value of a resistor, which is 2,2 kilo ohms with 2% tolerance, right? Here's our resistor. It has got a value of 2,2 kilo ohms with a tolerance of 2%. Now, kilo, we said it means 1,000. Now, if you've got 2,2 kilo ohms, it means 2,200 ohms. Are we together? So, let's convert all these into colors. Are we together? Now, to make it easier, let's not use kilo, right? You guys can use kilo if you want, but I rather prefer we don't. So let's just rewrite it into 2,200 ohms with a tolerance of 2%. Are we together, right? So the first color, 2, what color is 2? Red. Are we together, right? Which is that word, right? And what's the second color? 2. The second color is also. The second color is red. Then we've got 2 zeros here, right? Now here's the trick. Which number do we multiply 22 with to get 2,200? Are we together? Here's how I would normally do it. If we've got 2,200, what number would we divide it with? 22. Sorry, what number would we multiply it with to get 2,200? So I take 2,200, divide by 22. What do you get? It's 10. 10, you sure? 100. Are we together? So that's 100. Now 100 is equals to 10 to the power 2. Are we together, right? 100 is equals to 10 to the power 2. And 10 to the power 2 is equals to? These guys are playing with us. Red. And a tolerance of 2%.
Right.
These guys are playing with us. Red, 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 red. So this is our answer. Are we together? Now, let's do another example again, right? Okay, we've got another one, which says a resistor has the following color bands. Use the colors to determine the value of the resistor in ohms and kilo ohms. So, they gave us yellow, they gave us violet, together, right? Now, how do you now reverse engineer from numbers to colors, right? So the first color that you're given is yellow. Are we together? And what color is yellow? It's 4, right? So we're just going to come here and write 4. Second one, what color, what number is violet? Wait, what? Yes, what number is violet? It's 7. Then we come down here and then we write 7. And the next one is yellow. What's the multiplier of yellow? It's
10
times 10 to the power 4. Are you guys sure? You guys don't seem sure. Yellow. Oh yes, it's times 10 to the power 4. Yes, that's correct, right? Then we move on to the next one. The next one is gold. What is the tolerance of gold? It's 5%, right? And then we come and we do it like this. Now let's put this into numbers now, right? So that it can be a comprehensive value that makes sense. So the first one is 4, so let's put a 4. The second one is 7, so let's put a 7. Then the other one is times 10 to the power 4, then you write times 10 to the power 4. Now, can you punch 47 times 10 to the power 4 in the calculator? What do you get? That's actually correct. 470,000. That is correct. Ohms with a tolerance of 5%. Now they said you can also write it in kilo ohms if you want. That's what they said, right? So here it should be 470 kilo means 1,000, right? So that means we just remove this 1,000 and we replace it with the K. So it's 470 kilo ohm like this. Are we together? Any questions? Apart from how awesome I am, any other questions? Okay, let's do the last value now, right? Let's do the last one. Oh man, I love this question. I love this question. This one is from a 5-band resistor, right? Yeah, it's okay. Here is a 5-band resistor. And they want us to give the colors, they want us to give the answer in either ohms or kilo ohms. So, let me rub the board a little bit. Now here are our colors. Our colors are, the first one is green, the second one is red, the third one is yellow, the fourth one is silver, the fifth one is brown. This one is a 5-band resistor. Are we together? Now, green, what value is represented by green? It's 5, right? And what value is represented by red?
2.
2. Yes, that is correct. And what value? Now, this is 5 bands, right? That means the third one is still a value. Are we together? Now, what value is represented by yellow? 4. And now we go to the multiplier, right? Now silver. Silver is times 10 to the power what? Negative 2. So we come here and we write times 10 to the power negative 2. And brown. What is the tolerance of brown? It's 1%. Okay, so let's put this in words, right? Let's put this in values that you can actually play around with. So here we've got 5, we've got 2, we've got 4. And then we've got times 10 to the power negative 2. If you punch this in the calculator, what do you get? You know, the batteries of your calculator are finishing. If this times 10 to the power negative 2, then just put the comma 1, 2 times. The comma is here, then you move it 2 times. 1, 2. So it will be equal to 5,24 ohms. Are we together? With a tolerance of 1%. What do you guys think? Difficult or simple? I see you look confused. It's getting there. No? This is easy stuff, right? Okay, let's do one last example and then we'll see from there on what to do. Here we've got another one. Number 3 has got 27,000. No, so 2,700. That's still 27,000. 2700 ohms with a tolerance of 20%. Are we together? Okay, so let's do this question together. They're saying put down the colors for this whole thing, right? So what's our first color? Red. That is correct. So our first color will be red. What's the second color?
Violet.
Violet. That is correct. The second color will be violet. What's the third color? Now, multiply now. Which number are we going to put for the multiplier? Red. Yes. So for red, here's another trick. I don't know if you're using that trick, right? Where you just look at the number of zeros.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, this also works. You just look at the number of zeros. It's 2 zeros. That means it's times 10 to the power 2. Put it together. That also works. And then lastly, we've got a tolerance of 20%. So what does that mean? It's not. Right? That means there's nothing there. Now, not. Doesn't exist. Are we together? Our lesson is complete. Any questions?